All right, here we go. This is, you can leave that in actually if you want. That was quite funny. Yeah. This is the start. We're back. Hammers Happy Hour. And look, normally we do this on a Friday night. I got to be honest with you, it's Wednesday at 1 o'clock. It's just a Wednesday, straight up Wednesday.
And that's fine.
That's fine. We're happy to do things sometimes a little bit earlier. The boys are away. For people listening to this live, you'll be in Adelaide, Jaiden?
Yes, I will be.
What do you reckon you'll be doing this time? 6 o'clock.
On a Friday.
6 on a Friday.
There'll be
probably
beers.
in bed, reading a tea.
Having
a tea and reading a book.
I'll be in bed reading a book, just catching up on my sleep.
It's
just really getting
what footy's on that. Actually, I know exactly what footy's on. It'll be the Sydney Collingwood game, won't it?
Yes.
Are you guys? What games are you going to?
We've got the Thursday night one. So Geelong. Who Geelong playing?
It's a good question.
Geelong someone.
Geelong.
And then we're going to the Eagles Carlton game as well. So we've got a couple of games.
I think Geelong are playing Brisbane. No. Geelong are playing someone good. I think Geelong are playing Adelaide. There you go.
Yeah, Geelong
are playing Adelaide to kick things off.
Geelong Adelaide in Adelaide. Yeah, we'll be there.
You'll be there for that.
I think we're getting a little box.
Oh, hello.
Little box.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
There you go.
I'll be having to wear me best.
Yeah, wear your best. Your Sunday best.
Yeah,
your Thursday
Sunday best. Which is nice.
That is nice. So for anyone who is tuning in live, thank you very much. I'm not live, but this will be minutes before the football. So you've still got time to do and get on for free money. So let me just hit the sting straight away.
You got the touch.
And you got the power. Yeah. Well, you've still got, by my count, about 6 to 7 minutes. Don't actually know.
A little bit of time.
You've got plenty of time.
A little bit of time left.
Download the TABtouch app instantly. That's the first thing you got to do. Get online, download the TABtouch app. It's free. You can sign up for free. You'll need money to obviously put the bet on, but it's free. Jump on. Now, we talk same game multis. We quite often talk about it. We've hit one, we've lost a couple, but that's okay. We're in the market of winning, which is what we're doing this week. Now, I'm not sure who's going to win this game. Collingwood are good, Sydney are good. I'm leaving the result out of it. What I'm thinking this week, we've got the line. The line for the total score is 169.5. You'd say both teams are pretty good. So would I. I'm going to go over that line. I think this is going to be a bit of a score fest. So the scores are going to be high. The high overs we're going for. 169.5 over. Scott Pendlebury ages like a fine wine. Barossa Valley, wine region. Let's get the fine wine in there for 20 or more. He just eats the nurry. Give him 20 or more. And these two, there's been some conjecture about who's the best brother combo in the competition. Is it the Ashcrops? Is it the DeConnings? No, it's the fucking Dacosses. Give Nick and Josh both 25. Lock that away. Done. That's all it is. Easy. High overs, 169.5 points. Scott Pendlebury, the fine wine from the Barossa Valley, give him 20. Josh and Nick Dacos, both for 25. Signed, sealed, and delivered. If you jump on right now, TABtouch, go to the trending bets for the AFL. You might find Hammers Happy Hour, same game multi on there. It's odds boosted to about 550. You're looking at 550 for it. So you may as well get on because it's free money. Anyway, you've still got time before the bounce kicks off to do that. And just obviously gamble responsibly. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelp.org.au. Did I know that?
Gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Online.org.au.
Yeah,
you get that one. Yeah, mate, I'm pretty close.
It was very close.
Anyway, thanks to TABtouch. That's up there now. You still have time to get on. If you're listening, jump on, ride the bet with us, and it'll get there. And then the other one that we'd always do before this is we're going to go a first goals, like who's going to kick the first points. I think Collingwood will kick the first score, and it will be a point. Collingwood to score a point first. We'll ride that one home as well. Right.
Like
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
I like how I actually didn't notice that the bottom of that changes over as well because it says TABtouch now. It's just back to me.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Now, look, normally we talk about the night before's game. We have nothing to talk about because we haven't seen it. It's a Wednesday.
No. Adelaide v Geelong.
Adelaide versus Geelong. I think Adelaide will win that.
Yep.
What we can talk about, though, is what recorded yesterday for me and will have dropped yesterday for you guys when you're listening.
It's out.
It's out. It's the golf podcast. It's episode 2 of the golf pod. The swing of it.
And how are you feeling with that?
Oh, mate, I feel great with it. I really feel good with it. It's. I feel like we've got a great groove. We've hit the ground running. Obviously, the best week for it is currently on the Masters. So for those listening live, round 1 would have been last night. You'll know who's leading. You'll know who's doing all that. I personally... Looking at it, I personally think Ludwig Åberg is going to win the Masters. He was very good last year as his first time there. He's only getting better. He's a young Swede, so I think he'll be okay.
So you're leaning away from Rory McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy, I hope
Scotty Scheffler.
I hope Rory loses.
Yeah.
I just hope
You just don't like him.
I just don't love him as a guy. I don't know why. I just don't personally sit well with Rory. Anyway, well, that'll be on. So jump on and listen to the golf pod. If you like golf, and you like chatting golf. So it's the whole idea of this is it's not for experts. I don't want, Rory McIlroy, I don't think he's going to listen, which is fine. But if he does, I hope he gets a laugh and doesn't take it to heart because I don't know you from a bar of soap, Rory. Anyway, that being said, it's for people who, like me, love the game of golf, who are, good, bad, indifferent, but just addicted to getting back out there and playing. And it's also for the punter that just wants to keep up to date with what's happening on the tour, doesn't really have the time to watch, likes to be able to say in conversation, oh, what did you see? Tony Finau.
Did you see that ludicrous display last night?
Oh, did you see that one at the, the Florida Gate Chicken Wing Stadium, that sort of open thing? That's what you need to be able to chat through. So that's what our pod's about. We've got Joel, we've got Ron Chopper. Those boys are hilarious. They know golf as much as I do, probably a bit more. But yeah, jump on and have a listen. It's on Spotify. It's on the BackChat feed. We'll soon be on its own one. The swing of it, very, very good. I'm enjoying what we're doing there. So jump on board and have a look at that.
Yep. Just more of Hammer.
It's just more of me talking rubbish about whatever the things that I like are. So please, if you like that, follow along. So that's happening. What else is happening currently?
You played on the weekend. We haven't discussed that one yet.
Yeah, we played and we won.
Yeah, you did.
Had a couple, kicked a couple, did okay. Still, I didn't feel fat, slow, and unfit, which was good.
Yeah,
that was the feedback from. That was my own
diet. Was good.
It was my own personal feedback, and it reflected well because I felt a lot better out there, which is nice. Still on the trajectory.
So you made those changes in a week?
No, it was about three. It was about 3 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
It was about 3 weeks from being fat, slow, and unfit to like not as fat and a little bit quicker and more fit. So that's good. Actually, I'll tell you what I did find in my carnivore diet life that I am now a massive fan on: beef jerky. You a beef jerky guy?
No, I haven't been.
Neither was I.
But I'm into it now. So
I was not a beef jerky guy.
Here.
I was never a beef jerky guy. I just thought I must have had a shit one from an airport or something like 10 years ago. And been like, oh, this is fucking disgusting. I'm never eating it again. Yes. And for the last 10 years, it's been my belief that I don't like beef jerky, but I actually do.
Yeah.
Like I like it now. I had some on the way. I had some during my diet as a little snack, and I was like, what have I been doing?
So
it's just fucking dried, delicious meat.
Dry meat.
It was
dry red
so
meat.
good.
What made you change?
Well, what made me change
was
pick
up the beef jerky?
Because I needed snacks in my time, like especially early days. When you flip to carnivore and you do it early, you get so hungry because your body's still changing over to eat, live off fat or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
Yep.
But I was like ravenous early. And so you can only eat meat or eggs. And like, I'm not carrying around a pouch of eggs. So I'm like, okay, let me get some beef jerky. That's something that I can make work. It's a snack that I can have at my desk at work and I can just have. And I went and I got some and I was like, this is fucking out of this world good. From the Beef Jerky Co. or whatever it was, up London Court. And I was like,
the green one?
I actually don't know. It was in a weird little shop.
Right.
But it was so good. I had like smoky barbecue biltong. I had some sweet garlic thing. And it was just like, it was so delicious. And I was like, I'm now sold on that.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking of some other things that that I've said that I don't like. I've always hated eggplant. Or at least I think I've always hated eggplant.
Yep.
I haven't eaten an eggplant in about 8 years, I reckon. So that's next on my list to try because I fucking usually hate that.
Yeah, I don't really get around the eggplant.
Yeah, well, when's the last time you had it? There you go.
A while ago.
Yeah, see, exactly. I'm the same. It's like I don't like eggplant. That's what I say to people. But I haven't had it in a while.
I don't think I don't just go around eating an eggplant.
Well,
but I've definitely had it in some stuff.
Yeah. I'll tell you what else. I've said that I don't like gin and tonic.
Oh, no. Get around a gin and tonic.
Yeah, well, see, I did.
Love a gin and tonic.
I had one when I first started drinking alcohol. I was 18, and I had beer. You sort of try everything, and I was like, all right, gin and tonic. I had a gin and tonic because my older brother enjoyed it. My dad was drinking it, and I was like, oh, that's shit. I don't like that.
Yeah.
And since I haven't really had one, so I'm of the opinion, as now a 27-year-old, 9 years later, that I still don't like gin and tonic, but I haven't actually tried one in a while. So there's little things.
So you're of this like whole thing where you're just gonna try things that,
I have
you don't
to
permanently dislike something.
I have to revisit it.
Yeah, okay.
Because after my beef jerky saga, it is now like I've had it since I discovered it again 2 weeks ago. I would have had it every second day.
That's
like it's to the point where I'm like, this is my snack now. I fucking love it.
Yep.
And so it got me. And it got me thinking. Like, what if I'm missing out on other things that I think I don't like that I actually like?
Yes.
So I need to revisit that. I need to revisit a few things that I'm not saying that I'm just going to become an alcoholic and just drink gin all the time.
Yeah, well, or
No,
tonic.
I don't, or tonic. I don't really think I'm going to do that. But I just think,
But you could.
What if I'm missing out on something that, I could love?
What do you think you don't like that's a pretty common thing to like? Gin and tonic, I would feel, is a pretty
A gin and
common
tonic,
thing.
I feel like
That's
it's a
pretty
common thing.
You got anything else like that?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like
For
eggplant
me,
is,
it's pickles.
you don't like pickles?
No, can't.
Yeah, but when's the
can't
last time
stand
you've had a pickle?
I had a pickle the other week. It was in my burger, and I accidentally bit into it. And
Okay, well, there you go. But that's something that you have
I know I
tried.
don't like
So
it.
you know you don't like that.
Yes,
See, yeah,
which is because pickle juice will help stop the cramps. And
pickle juice will help stop the
Yeah.
cramps.
It's a tough
Anyway,
one.
so there's a few things like that I just need to keep reminding myself, hey, I can go back to the well here and try it. And if I still don't like it, at least I can say comfortably that I don't like it.
yeah, I don't like that. I had it last week.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
done with it now.
I had it last week. I don't like it. But I don't know anymore if I don't like eggplant. I don't know if I don't like gin and tonic. I don't know if I don't like, fucking butternut squash or whatever the hell those fucking little weird things are on a veggie
Yep.
tray that I
I'd
don't
love
like
for
the
you
look of.
to try.
Papaya. There's another
Papaya.
one. Fruit. I remember in, where were we? Fiji years ago. I thought it was a fucking, what did I think it was? A mango. Took a bite out of it. It was a fucking papaya or whatever the hell you say it.
Puppy yuppie.
Papaya. And I was like, get this out of my face. I don't want this. It tastes
Yeah.
like shit.
Really?
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe I like papaya now.
Maybe.
So there's all these sorts of things that I need to figure out.
Let's do one a week on Hammers Happy Hour.
Yeah.
Let's bring
back something that I hate.
papaya, and
I'm going to bring a papaya in and
try
have a
that.
fucking nibble of that
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Maybe end of footy season, we'll bring in a
Gin and tonic. Yeah, and I'll just be like,
And a whole bunch
you know
of
what?
others.
Do I like this or
Yeah.
not? And I'll really get down to the bottom of it. So that's
We'll
that's-
really give it a shot.
yeah, that's one thing that I've been thinking about recently.
Your cauliflower?
I like cauliflower.
Yeah.
I'm a big cauliflower guy. Look, the other thing, this is a complete segue that has nothing to do with anything.
There we go.
But last week, you obviously the PR Waters Falcons.
Yes.
Sam reached out to me, and he sent me a photo of the stealth jumper.
Did he?
Oh boy, it looks good.
Oh, it does look good, doesn't
Oh boy, it looks good.
it? Yeah, it's
Pretty
a
sure
good jumper.
it's a fucking exceptional jumper. And I think Sammy was talking about potentially getting a long sleeve one sent in here.
Oh,
to the show.
there's a long sleeve.
So I'm looking forward a lot to that. How did you go?
Not well.
Perfect.
Not well.
How'd you go
The
in the
Rezzies
ruck?
did not go well. I did
Battled
okay
away?
in the ruck. I battled. I tried to get up there and jump around. I don't know if I got a black.
Yeah, I
eye
saw.
here.
I can see. Yeah,
Kicked in the face with a footy
devastating.
off a teammate.
Really?
Who got it back and almost kicked a goal.
Fuck.
But yeah, no, didn't do too well. But I'm very confident that the boys will come back.
They'll bounce
Obviously, I can't play this week. I'm
Yeah,
in
you're away.
Adelaide,
Yep.
But we'll bounce back. We'll get a win, and we'll be pushing. The league team won.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah,
That's
I
big.
think everyone except the Rezzies won. So we're going Colts, ladies, everything.
Yeah,
So,
and when you can have the full
Disappointing.
team, when you can have all the grades winning, that's big for the club.
yeah, it is big.
So you'll
It
find a
is.
way to bounce back. Now,
We'll find a way to bounce back.
Yeah, so-
it was just a
yeah, it's
Just one of those
disappointing.
matches,
Just one
you
of
know?
those days. So
Just
look,
one of
we
those
will we'll be in touch with Sammy.
I
about those
actually-
long sleeve jumpers.
I got a text. You know how last week we were talking about changing the song from the Essendon song
Yep.
to the GWS song?
Yep.
Got a text who said, makes sense to change our song to align with the juniors.
Is the
So
juniors
the
the
juniors
GWS?
song is the GWS song.
There you go. Makes perfect
So it
sense.
makes perfect sense.
PR Waters Falcons. We're changing it.
Yeah, we're changing it.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
listen, Jaiden. I'm gonna this again. We're all about segues today.
Yeah, keep going.
You missing this week's game. You're flying to Adelaide. Obviously, you got
Yep.
work. Some people may call that a dog act. I don't. I think that's you just work, and that's just the way it goes.
Thank you,
But
mate.
Some people might
Yes.
think, "Fuck, that's a bit of
Yeah.
a dog act." Now
There
we
could be a
had-
fine.
There could be a fine. We had a super comment last week,
Super
comment. which was Hammer Ranks. Give me your top 5 dog acts in sport.
Yep.
So I hit the sting because we're rolling right into it. Have we got the sting somewhere there? Oh, that's a dog. You're a dog. That's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And now
Oh,
on the BackChat podcast, Hammer
That's
Ranks.
weird.
Starting off with number 1.
Yeah, starting off with number 1, Jaiden.
That
No, look, so we've got a few. There's so many. Like so many as you go along. Like I look at, there's a few that I've left. I've got my list of 5. There's a few that I've missed out.
Do you want to do an honourable mention?
Like honourable mention, I know you were a massive, massive advocate of having the underarm ball in there.
Oh, you can't.
Like the underarm ball's not in my top 5.
No.
Like that's dog. That's a dog act. The underarm ball is a dog act.
Mate,
Barry Hall punching Brent Staker in the face is a dog act.
Dog act.
Like there's been a few clear and cut like dog acts as you go along. What are some other ones that? So there's a couple of honourable mentions. What other honourable mentions have I got? The list that I got here is it's ChatGPT of the ones that when I was searching, but it was like Lance Armstrong's doping. That's not really dog. That's just cheating.
Yeah, that's just cheating.
So like that's not, you can't really claim that as a dog act.
That's a top 5 of something else.
It's a top 5 of something else. Like Jaiden doing the headbutt at the World Cup. That's dog. Just don't headbutt a bloke.
Yep.
But anyway, we've got my top 5. In number 5, I've got Tonya Harding.
That's
dog.
That
so
is
I, Tonya,
dog.
the movie, made this one famous, but essentially this is a figure skating, ice skating at the Olympics. Her ex-husband, she's like, they've worked in cahoots to basically like ruin the knees of her opposition. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I think it is.
Yes, her closest rival.
Her closest rival, who they were competing for gold. Her ex-husband is like capped her knees or whatever it was.
Hired someone to cap her knees.
Hired someone to get her knees fucked. And she was like, oh, no, I didn't know. Turns out she knew the whole time and was fully aware of it.
Yep.
That's dog.
That's dog. For me, that's number 1 dog.
Yeah, like that is,
And
well,
I'm keen to hear your
it's
list.
number 5 for me, but that is like, that's just dog. You can't do that, Tonya.
no.
So Tonya Harding is number 5 for me in the dog acts. And this is across all sport. I'm not sure whether or not, can't remember the guy, was it Fozzie that did the super comment? Might
Yes.
have been.
Oh, no, I don't think it was Fozzie, but yeah.
Anyway, whoever dropped the super
Whoever did it.
comment, I'm not sure if you wanted sport in general. I'm not sure if you wanted AFL, but you're getting sport in general from me. So Tonya at number 5. At number 4, the Montreal screw job.
See, I'm not familiar with this one.
The Montreal screw job,
not-
massive. WWF, it was at the time. The WWF champ was Bret the Hitman Hart. He is from Montreal. He's Canadian. They have this, don't think it was WrestleMania. I can't remember what it was, but there was an event at Montreal in his home state. He was fighting his last fight. He'd made it aware to the WWF that he was going to WCW. He was leaving. It was a big thing. And it was like, righto, Bret, this is he was the champ. He was the WWF champion.
Yep.
And Vince McMahon, who was just like hell-bent on keeping up the public image and like he couldn't have anyone deserting him, and especially not the champ, had his golden boy at the time, Shawn Michaels, in a fight with, in a match with the Hitman. Now, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels hated each other in real life. They didn't like each other at all. So it was like, Bret was like, I'm not dropping the belt tonight. And I'm not giving it to him. Obviously, for those listening at home, spoilers, wrestling is predetermined.
Yep.
But this night was like, I refuse to drop the belt. I'm just not doing it. So before it went out, it was like the whole thing was like, Bret might not wrestle. If you're not going to guarantee him that he's on, he might ruin this whole thing. At Montreal, he's not going to do it. In front of the home crowd, dropping the belt like that would be so embarrassing. He didn't want to do it. Anyway, they came to an agreement that he wouldn't drop the belt. I think people might correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't really care, but I'm spitballing. It was like, it's going to be a DQ or something's going to happen where you'll lose, but you won't lose the belt. And he was like, fuck, okay, whatever, I'm happy with that. Got halfway through the fight, and Vince and Shawn had spoken about it before and had said, we're going to fuck him over here. So what happened is towards the back end of this fight or this match, Shawn Michaels, it was in their, this choreography that he would get him in the sharpshooter, which is Bret's submission. And Vince McMahon had run down to the ring and he got this submission, and like Bret is not tapping. Bret's not, he's not quitting. But Vince has screamed at the referee to ring the bell and like call it over. And so Bret's in the middle of the ring and everyone's just like, you can see clear as day that it's like, this isn't scripted anymore. This is like, ring the fucking bell. We're calling it. He loses. We're going to do him dirty here. To the point where like he got up, he like fucking was trying to belt the shit out of Shawn Michaels, like spat at Vince McMahon, like spat on his face, and just it was erupted. And it's like, that's dog.
That's dog.
So dog, in front of his home crowd, in front of his family, on his last night in the business, has just said, I'm out, fuck off.
No.
And he's dogged him like that. So the Montreal screw job for me is number 4. It's fucking brutal. And
that's a deserving one.
It's
That's
a deserving
very
one.
deserving
Such a deserving dogging.
Yeah. That's dog.
Number 3, we keep going. There's so many dog acts. This was a great call from whoever put the super comment in. At number 3, Lee Matthews and Neville Bruns. So I could have gone the Barry Hall one, but this one I feel like is a bit more dog. So Barry Hall, turned and belted, whatever, has since apologised to Brent Staker, and they haven't become friends, but like it's been an acknowledgement. Moved on. Lee Matthews, like king hit Neville Bruns, fractured his jaw, was like charged by the police, missed I think 4 games, but has never spoken to the bloke. Has never apologised, has never even made note of it, and it's never been anything other than like, it's taboo. You can't talk about it. That's dog.
That's dog.
You can't just belt a bloke and then just
not
like,
say anything. That's dog.
let me wipe my hands clean of that. I'm out of here. Lee Matthews, Lethal Lee, one of the greats, that's dog.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to be, the hatchet's never going to be buried. The hatchet's somewhere, they've lost it. They've lost the hatchet.
Yeah, they've lost the hatchet.
And I don't know.
I think Lee still has the hatchet.
Lee still might have the hatchet.
Lee's got the hatchet.
I don't know where Neville's at with it all. I don't think he likes Lee. I don't know if Neville even wants that hatchet to be buried.
No.
But Lee's got the hatchet somewhere. So
I think Neville might want the hatchet.
That's number 3 for the biggest doggings in sport. Now, the last 2 were a toss-up between 2 and 1 for me. We spoke about this one last week. I'm going to put it at 2. Ooh. Lay down Sally.
Yep, lay down Sally.
Like
2004 Olympics.
2004 Olympics, lay down Sally. For those who don't know, let me just quickly. So, lay down Sally. What the fuck?
Sally Robbins.
Sally Robbins.
Australian rower.
She was rowing in the, what was it? She was rowing in the final. Was it a 4s or the 8s?
8s.
Yeah. So she's rowing in the 8s. She was the Olympic final in 2004. She'd done the same thing in the 2002 World Finals, I think.
Yes.
Where she was rowing, and got to the end of it and just was like nearly there and she just stopped.
Yep. Put down the oar.
Now, this
down.
happened in an Olympic final over, I think it was 2,000 metres. If you are rowing in a group of 8 and one person stops, it's over.
It's done.
She just went, no, it's too hard for me.
Yeah.
And rowing is a fucking brutal sport, no question.
Hard.
But don't go to the Olympic finals and put yourself in a team position and then just say, I'm stopping.
Yep.
Literally lay down in the boat.
Yep.
And then the biggest dog part of this is not that she stopped and she did that. When the race was over and they'd lost, she helped row them back to the docks.
Dog.
So dog.
Like that's
dog.
dog.
And was just like, yep, I helped them row back. Like,
Yeah.
if you're laying down, Sally, you better be dead.
Yeah, you're
You
done.
better be.
You better not be able to move your arms.
You better be.
Like these
in
better
hospital.
not work.
You better be amputating those motherfuckers.
Like they need to go.
Dog.
Yeah, dog.
And for an Aussie to do that in a pinnacle sport, it killed me. Anyway.
In a sport we're good at as well. Yeah. And we were like in the finals ready to push for that. Push for a medal.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
Yeah, it's
dog.
Bullshit. Dog.
The number 1 biggest dog act in sport, and I up and down and and ahhed about this, I don't know that you can get much more dog, was Mike Tyson biting Evander Holyfield's ear off.
That's
dog.
That is pretty dog.
That's dog. That is so dog. Like, you can beat a bloke in a fight, no worries. Yep. You can be losing in a fight and go down. You can be gracious in defeat. You can be Nick Kyrgios and smash your racket if you're not happy with it. But to bite a guy's ear off?
Yeah.
Dog.
That
is a fucking Great Dane of a dog. That's the biggest dog act, I think, in sports history. Pretty hard to beat for mine.
Underarm
ball's
I had a
dog.
different list. Underarm ball's
dog.
That is a dog act. It's legal.
It is a dog act.
It's completely legal to do, but it's a dog act to do in sport. You know what I mean? Like, because it's legal. That's what makes it so dog, because you can actually do it. But it's a sportsmanship thing where like, nah, I'm not going to do that because that's dog. That's why
biting a guy's ear off.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty. Yeah,
that's dog. Like, you can, anyway.
The thing with that one is that, like, they've forgiven each other. Like, they've both forgiven each other. They become friends now. Yeah. Holyfield's missing in a year.
Yeah, Holyfield doesn't have any.
Tyson is fucking nuts.
Still
but I feel like you get in a ring with Mike Tyson.
Still dog. You just don't expect your ear to go.
No,
you don't roll into a fight thinking,
your ear to go.
Fuck, I'm going
to. That is dog. No, I do agree with that. That should be top 5.
Dog.
I would just put the underarm ball in there.
Anyway, that's dog. All right, well, mate, that's we don't have a quiz today with anyone one-on-one. But I thought, so I do this typically. I love quizzing in general. I do quizzes every day. I try and do them every week. One quiz that I do every day is a Sydney Morning Herald quiz. It sometimes is short. It's sometimes long. Wednesday's one is a 15 question. There's 5 easies. There's 5 mediums. There's 5 hards. 1, 2, and 3 pointers. I haven't done it today, and I thought, why wouldn't I just hold off on doing this until we get here? So, Jaiden, if you wouldn't mind hitting the music before we wrap things up. Is that the quiz? Is this the quiz music?
This is the quiz music.
Is it really?
It says quiz intro on my button.
Oh, wow, there you go. Wow, there you go. So that's the quiz intro, and then we just do the background. Yeah, that's the one.
This is the one you wanted.
This is what I wanted. So that's right. Jaiden, you're going to do this with me. I haven't done this. We're going to do it together.
Yep.
There's 5 1-pointers, 5 2-pointers, 5 3-pointers for a total of 25 points. What is our pass mark, do we think? Do you reckon we need to get 15 points as a duo?
As a duo, 15. So 100%.
No, 15 of 25.
Oh, 25. Yeah.
I'll give us 15.
I don't know how good I am at quizzes.
No, well, we'll figure it out.
I've got a
This is just strict.
myself, but let's go.
This is straight general knowledge too. We're not talking anything Marvel or it's general knowledge. Righto. Question number 1. Which former US Vice President will speak at the Australian Real Estate Conference on the Gold Coast next month? I have seen this.
Joe?
Nah, I reckon it's Kamala Harris, and I've seen this in another quiz that I did last week. Correct.
Vice President.
Benefit of doing quizzes. Question number 2. We're 1 from 1.
Nice.
Actors Harris Dickinson, Paul Mescal, Barry Keoghan, and Joseph Quinn will portray the members of which legendary band in a series of films from director Sam Mendes?
The Beatles.
Okay, I wouldn't have got that. The Beatles. Well done, Jaiden. Bang.
Good for something.
What do the French know as pommes frites?
Pommes
Chips?
frites.
French fries?
Yeah,
or
French
chips?
fries, I think. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Correct. 3 from 1.
Nice.
Haas and Shepherd are both varieties of what fruit?
Haas and Shepherd.
Haas are avocados.
Must be avocado.
Must be avocados. Yep, correct. I've never heard of a Shepherd avocado before.
Never heard of Shepherd.
Singers Bon Scott and Brian Johnson have both been members of which Australian rock band? Thank you very much, AC/DC.
Yep.
That's 5 from 5 on the 1-pointers.
That's pretty good.
We've swept the ones.
I think you got 4, I've got 1.
Yep,
so
we've swept the ones.
We're on.
The 2-pointers. Now it gets a bit more difficult.
Yep.
Which African dictator said you have freedom of speech, but freedom after speech, that I cannot guarantee? African dictator. Joseph Kony?
Kony 2012. Back in the day.
Who else is an African dictator that I know? Am I missing one?
I feel like I've got something on the tip of the tongue, but I can't.
Don't really know me African dictators. No, I've already seen the answer, so I can't guess. 3, 2.
No.
Idi Amin.
Yeah, that wasn't who I was thinking of at all.
Who is the trumpet of Patriots, party leader, and prime ministerial candidate?
Is that fucking Clive Waterhouse? Nah, fucking Palmer. Clive Palmer?
It is not. Sulan Rutston.
Who the fuck is that?
Sulan. Righto, we've
I've
0
seen
from
Clive
2.
Palmer on all the bloody things.
Trumpet Patriots.
Yeah.
In the AFL, Michael Voss has been the senior coach of which 2 teams? That'd be Carlton and Brisbane.
Yep.
Correct. Which American author wrote The Godfather in 1969?
Oh, God.
No idea. 0. I'm shooting in the dark there. Martin Scorsese.
Did he direct them?
I don't know. I think so.
Spielberg?
Mario Puzo.
Yeah, who the fuck's that?
Not sure.
No, we're not good.
Rightio.
Keep going.
The second of this last question of the 2-pointers.
Yeah.
Which band is fronted by singer Buster Bloodvessel? Bad Company, Bad Brains, or Bad Manners?
Bad Company.
Okay, I like that. I don't know about the other ones. Bad Manners. Fuck. Rightio. So we are currently on
Did we get
7.
any from that too?
We got 1.
We got 1.
So we need 3 from 5 3-pointers, and these are traditionally the hardest. Righto, here we go. Question 11. Which autonomous ride-hailing service, beginning with W, was previously called the Google Self-Driving Car Project? Waze?
No, Waze is the maps.
I don't know this.
What are the options?
There isn't an option.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I would never have got it. I've just looked at the answer. Waymo.
No, I have no idea.
Never heard of Waymo in my
Never heard
whole
of
life.
Waymo.
Which British business magnate owns Necker Island in the British Virgin Islands? I only know Richard Branson as a British business magnate.
Yeah, let's go Richard Branson.
It's Richard Branson. Well done. We need 2.
All right, come on.
We need 2 more.
2 more.
Which popular podcast is presented by Alexandra Cooper?
Oh.
I know this one. Something like She's My Daddy or something. Is that what it's called?
She's My Daddy.
She's the Daddy or
Yeah.
something Daddy? I know that it's something Daddy. I can picture her face and I can picture the podcast name.
Yes, Rachel was talking about this the other day.
I'm gonna lock in She's My Daddy.
Yep.
And if it's something close to that, I'm gonna almost give it to us.
Yeah, I agree.
Call her daddy.
Call her
That's
daddy.
fine.
Call her
I'm
daddy.
giving us that.
Yep.
I'm giving us that.
Good from you.
That takes us
Good
to
for me.
13 out of 25. So we need one of the next two.
Yep.
In philosophy, oh my God. In philosophy, the problem-solving principle attributed to William of Ockham is known as Ockham's what?
Razor.
Bang! Jaiden. Wow, that's good. What is Ockham's razor? Do you know what that is? What is it actually?
It's
I've heard it before. I don't know what it is.
it
Just
is-
off the top of your head.
I don't know.
Are you Googling?
No, I'm just gonna Google this.
I
I'm
can
gonna
hear
Google
you
this one.
Googling.
I don't know it.
And neither do I. But I know I've heard that word before, so well done. Question number 15. We're home, by the way. We're at 16 out of 25.
I've Googled it. I still don't know.
Read it out.
I've closed the tab.
Ah, perfect. Never
Go
mind.
again.
No, never mind.
We'll get it at the end.
Never mind. The first rock band to have an avian vocalist got their name from a play on the name of another act, Hatebreed. What are they called? Have an avian vocalist. Does that mean a bird is singing?
That doesn't make sense. Read it again.
The first rock band to have an avian vocalist got their name from a play on the name of another act, Hatebreed. What are they called?
Hatebreed.
Hate bread, maybe, and it's like ducks.
Cake bread.
Hate beak.
Yeah,
That checks.
that would make sense.
I got it wrong. 16 out of 25 is still pretty good though.
Yeah.
And while you're there, what is Occam's razor?
The simplest answer is always the answer. Like if you have two problems, the simplest solution to that problem is the answer.
Is that what Occam's razor
Yeah.
is? Well, there you go. I didn't know that. I'd heard the thing.
I've
I'd heard
heard
the term
it.
before.
I've heard
anyway, well done, mate. We're 25 out of 26. 16 out of 25. That's pretty good.
Mate. Well done to you. That's good effort.
Yeah, that's massive. So look,
Do you want to finish on a bit of boner chat?
yeah, we can finish on some boner chat.
Oh no! Oh no! Don't get a boner! Don't get a boner! No!
I've got a boner. So look, I actually don't have a boner currently. I'm
No.
pretty flaccid.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing because I edged myself to the point of just coming everywhere. Oh boy.
That's not edging. That's just coming everywhere.
Nah, I didn't do that. I got myself to the point. When we played Melbourne,
Yeah.
I couldn't have physically been harder. Like I was just fucking granite and down there. And it was, knock on wood if you're with me, and I was just fucking drumming on it. Anyway, I since then I passed out, obviously. And
Yeah.
woke
It was a tough couple of weeks.
woke up here on Monday and I was, blood rushing back. We then got not pumped. We then lost pretty convincingly to Adelaide but we were there or thereabouts. Like we hung in for a bit. I then thought we would actually genuinely beat Sydney and we lost by 80 points.
Yeah, I know. I tipped you guys as
So
well.
did I. And this week we've got the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah.
We've had a tough run of 3 games here.
Yeah. It's
Like
not good.
we are, as much as I love the boners, I'm almost inverted in the moment. Like I'm almost fucking myself back.
You got to be thinking about the game after that. You've got Carlton,
We'll beat
18th of April, Friday game.
We will beat Carlton, no question about it. But I'm more worried about this week. I just don't want us to get blown out, which is it's going to be so hard. I honestly think if we can keep this under 50 points,
You've done well.
You've done well. I just don't know that we can. Like if I look at the live line right now, if I jump on TABtouch and have a look at quickly have a look at the line, what do you think it is? Off the top? I reckon it's going to be something like 60 odd. Would be my guess.
Maybe
what?
50s, 40s, 40
You
something.
are kidding me. The line is 24 and a half.
Nah, it's not. No, it can't be.
Sorry.
You're getting on that.
I've got to get on it the other way around, don't I?
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. You have to get on Gold Coast to kick more than that.
To beat them by more than 4 goals?
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance that North Melbourne are staying within 4 goals of Gold Coast.
Oh, my God. I can't. It's free money that I'd be leaving on the table, but I can't bet against the bonus, can I? But that seems ridiculous, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's...
I thought
do
50
you
points.
actually... There's no way that boners are staying within Gold Coast there.
I thought...
Do you guys play Adelaide really well?
No.
You guys are getting flogged.
Yeah, I think we lose by like 50 points. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's... Oh...
Here's what I'm going to do. Out of good faith to the North Melbourne Football Club, I'm going to leave that bet on the table. I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, okay.
Because I know, like, realistically, yeah, we probably lose.
Do you match up well?
To Gold Coast?
Yeah, you don't. You guys have got a pretty good midfield.
We got a great midfield, but it's young, and these guys are hardened. Fuck, it's going to be a hard game.
Who's stopping Matt Rao? That bloke is going to have an absolute handful.
Griffin Logue's back, which is good because we need him to play on Ben King. Charlie Comben will be there. He'll be huge. But Tristan Sherry has to stay fit. I don't know how his injury is. But yeah, fuck, it's gonna be like 24.5 points. Shit. Anyway, that's enough boner chat because I'm going to be back next week. We're going to be hard on the boners because it's game on.
Next week the boners actually play Friday 1:20 p.m.
Oh my God.
So I don't know how you're going to get here.
God. Well, I got the day off that day.
Oh, you got the day off? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's Easter Friday. It's Good Friday.
We'll figure something out.
Anyway. How are we going to get you here, mate? You're going to need an ambulance.
I'm going to need an ambulance because I'm going to be driving down here not driving. I'm going to have to get that Waymo, the self-drive Uber app.
What is it? Waymo?
Yeah, Waymo. Anyway, look, that's boner chat. That's Hammer's happy hour for the day.
Yep.
We've got an interview coming up that we did a pre-record with Matty LaFontaine, I think his last name is.
Yes.
He has got some world records. He's an advocate of men's mental health, or just mental health in general, I think. But he's done some pretty crazy things to go about it. And we've had a good chat with him. That's going to come up next. All right, we're live. We're back. Now, just for everyone already knows this is pre-recorded because, the boys are in gather round. And Matty has jumped on the call and has given us 30 seconds of gold that we can't get back, which is disappointing. But we've got Matty here. Matt, welcome, firstly.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Great to have you here. What are you doing today? Just taking the day or taking lunchtime off? What are we looking at?
Yeah, so I'm at work at the moment. So I just work with a whole bunch of plants, to be honest. So we're doing a plant giveaway. So I've managed to sneak out while there's like 30 customers. So
and when you say plants, are we talking hydrangeas or are we talking drills and excavators, that sort of plant?
We're talking like, you walk into a nursery, not the ones with kids, but the ones with plants kind of situation.
I worked at a nursery, actually, funnily enough. My one of my first jobs was at a nursery in Victoria.
There you go. Which one?
Dinsan Nursery. You ever heard of that one? The Hawthorn boys, Hawks it was my ex-girlfriend's dad who ran the joint, and he's just sold the back half of it to Hawthorn for their new development out in, where was it? Dingley Village. So, anyway, I hope they're going well. I think they probably are. They're going all right. So you're just taking a half an hour off, jumped on here. But, mate, we're not here to talk plants as much as, what's your favourite plant, actually? We might as well talk about it. We're here. We're talking plants.
Hey?
What is your favourite plant? I was always a big Birds of Paradise guy.
Birds of Paradise. They are nice. I've got a little Monstera type constellation at home, so it's a nice little indoor plant. Yeah. So variegated, I love it. Anything that's a bit different.
What is the? Sorry, I've forgotten the name of that one. That's just escaped.
No, it was a long name.
The Tyserius, ceratops. How much sun does that one need, and how much water? If someone was to go and get one of those for their own little indoor area?
Yeah, not a lot. They like to be in the shady area, but I feel like that's the thing. Most people feel like they got to water plants. Honestly, you're more likely to kill them if you overwater them. So if I'm going to give any tips out there, just let them live.
Let them starve or let them get thirsty and then just give them a little bit at a time. Yeah, nice. Okay, mate. Well, that's good plant chat. We do love plants here and I'm all about it. But we're moving on to more important things. You reached out and the message that you sent grabbed us straight away from one world record holder to another. My world records are unofficial. We lodged them and it was just too much back end. I couldn't be bothered figuring it out. So I was happy knowing that I'd beaten what the record was. But you've got an official one. Am I right in saying that?
I'm sending mine off too, but I'm doing the company I'm doing it through. They'll verify it all, and they'll let me know the exact number that they're happy with. But hopefully, it's the number I finished on.
So, run us through for those listening at home. Run us through what that world record is, please.
Yeah, so I decided to take part in trying to break the world record for the most pull-ups ever done in a month. Previously, it was 31,125, so I needed to do just under 1,100 pull-ups a day for a month, but I managed to blow it out the water by over 10,000 pull-ups. So I managed to get to 41,429. So,
gee whiz, that's just an awful, and that's a stupid amount. So what does that work out to be per day? About
it worked out to be about 1,380 a day.
That's just dumb. What like, why that world record? Were you good? Have you always been in the gym? Have you always been fit? Or have you just thought, I need to, what sparked the pull-up world record?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've grown up playing a lot of footy, so I love my lower body weight, sort of weights in the gym. But, end of 2022 or 2023, end of 2023, had pubic overload, so I wasn't able to run. Didn't want to sit still, so just decided to start doing pull-ups. I didn't really enjoy them at the start, but got sort of stuck into them and ended up training to do 3,249 pull-ups. So I did that last October. That was just to acknowledge the lives lost to suicide in Australia back in 2022. So I've kind of just decided to train for that. Originally, I was giving myself 24 hours to do it, but I managed to do it in 7 hours and 40 minutes. So I kind of was like, all right, I wonder if there's anything else I can do. And I found this world record and thought I'd give it a crack. So it kind of just started from there.
Mate, I'm just going to backtrack about 5 seconds where you said you did 3,249, I think it was, pull-ups in 7 hours.
Yeah, 7.5 hours. Yeah. Yep.
That's fucking ridiculous. So for me, I don't know. I'll get your dimensions in a second. You're actually not allowed to give height and weight anymore at the AFL level, but lucky we don't play there. I'm about 187 centimetres and about 98 kilos at the moment as it stands. It's not a body that's conducive to doing chin-ups or pull-ups. I'm very lower body. I'm very heavy from the arse down. Like my arse to quad ensemble is thick, and it just makes it tough. I reckon the most, if I was to jump on a pull-up bar right now, the most I reckon I could do in a row is probably, I'd be lucky to get to about 12. What was your, when you've done your OP, you've got something wrong with your cock and balls, what are you looking at on the pull-up bar? What's your starting point to now? What are you doing? Like what was your original, and how many can you do in a row now?
Yeah, so originally when I started, I just decided to do 6 reps every minute for as long as I could. I could go for about 26 minutes. So that's about 150 reps.
It's the stupid. It's the dumbest exercise. It's actually a really good exercise, but it just sucks. Of any exercise, chin-ups is my fucking least favorite by a mile.
I hated it growing up. Like you'd have to do chin-ups or pull-ups in the gym at your footy club or whatever you were doing in your pathway programs, and I would avoid it as much as I could. But yeah, so I started doing 6 every minute, ended up getting my numbers up. I started breaking it down to 30-second stints. So when I did the 3,249, I was doing 5 reps every 30 seconds. And I did that for about 3.5 hours. And then I started having breaks and reduced the numbers down. So kind of just, stemmed from there.
And if you were to jump up right now on the pull-up bar, what's the number? If you just went, I'm just going to go as many as I can here in a row, what are you talking?
Let's say I'm fresh. I'd say at least 30.
That is phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
30 pull-ups. What do you reckon, Jaiden? You got a mic over there?
Yeah.
How many you reckon you could do in a row?
6.
Yeah, I see. I'd be.
That might be overestimated.
It could be. I've just eaten lunch too, so I could be overestimating it. Now, mate, run us through the. You said you mentioned the suicide rate or the number of suicides in 2022. What sparked that? Is that something that's close to you? Is it something that you just thought this is an issue? I want to do it. What sparked that number?
A bit of both. I feel like a lot of people, I've been and seen, people who have taken their lives, and just to sort of see that, it is heartbreaking. And I think it's something that can be fixed and we can help people.
Yep.
I also fell into a pretty sort of dark sort of time of my life through COVID, very lonely and isolated time. And it led to me to being at a point where essentially I was attempted to take my life, I guess. And that was really rough. And to have gotten to that point to, finding such peace and happiness in my life, it's like I feel like it's a mission for me to help encourage and inspire others to look after their mental health and know that they can get through their own stuff too. So I have a passion for pushing myself to the limits. I feel like it's something that a lot of people are too scared to do, just, the fear of failure and whatnot. But I'm trying to highlight these numbers and statistics through what I'm doing to hopefully inspire and encourage people to look after themselves and those around them.
Yeah, it's mate, it's a massive issue. I had a mate, Patrick Bynes, who was on the AFL, was on the list at West Coast with me. He's spoken about this on some stuff before, but he has had a few neck surgeries and was cooked and went to, I think it was it's like one of those injecting nursing places in Victoria, somewhere in Richmond. It's one of those ones that, if for people who are doing drugs, that you do it in a safe way. You've got people there to help. Anyway, he essentially went there to sort of self-euthanize himself and didn't end up doing it and has got a lot better since. But I feel like a lot of people have got stories that have somewhat connected to whether it be suicide or mental health issues, more like everyone has. You'd be a hard man, you'd be a baby that hasn't understood anything in the world to know not know anyone who's had any issues with this sort of stuff. So it is a massive issue, and it's good on you for doing it. I just the thing that the pushing yourself to doing however many thousand pull-ups, that's what interests me. It's like I'm all for advocating for this stuff, getting the word out there, but what you're doing is just fucking ridiculous, and I don't know how you're doing it. So that's the one day in one day. What's the month world record that you've held, and what was the significance of that number, if there was any, or was it just I'm just going to break a record?
Yeah. So I ended up getting to 41,429.
Yep.
The 429 was significant as 42.9% of Australians will suffer a mental health disorder in their lifetime, aged between the age of 16 and 82, I think it was. And that's just it. That would only be the people who get diagnosed. I feel like there'll be so many people within that statistic who don't even get checked. So you're looking at 1 in every 2 people. So, between you and I, the chances are high that one of us have. And obviously, like I said, I have. So it's highlighting how many people that this affects. And, like I said, hopefully then encourage the people who need it to go out there and look for it, find their purpose, find their help, and then, hopefully live a more fulfilling life.
A lot of the time when you speak to people who have had issues with mental health or have known people that have battled through it, exercise is often it's such a simple thing when you're in retrospect. Like if you look back on it and you think I was in such a shit spot, I was flat, I was this, that, and the other, and then fast forward to when now you're in a better spot. Exercise is such an easy one to do. So I think it's a really good way to link the two and two together. But in terms of raising awareness / fundraising / bringing other people along, what have you found have been the best things or the most sort of fulfilling things for you about these world records, or highlighting the stuff with these records?
I think for me, it's just seeing how it impacts the people around me. Like, the 2 challenges I've done specifically with the pull-ups have invited in some sort of mental health statistic. And so, you get people who can relate to why you're doing it, and they reach out to you and let you know how inspiring it is to see someone, highlighting these things and also just like pushing themselves, and, people connect to it. And I think that's really important. And to be that person who is out there doing it, I think is really important. I'm not trying to encourage everyone to go out there and do 41,000 pull-ups, but I think
you're certainly not encouraging me, mate. I'm going nowhere near that world record. I'll stick to popping balloons or eating blueberries.
Hammer breaks could happen
hammer
one day.
breaks. Fuck that. No way.
Yeah. So but I think that's the most important part for me. I don't do it for myself. I do it to try and help people around me because, that's what I feel like I'm here for, and I'm passionate about it, and I'll keep doing that.
It's a really good feeling. We've had, so not this show, but across the whole BackChat platform, we get people message in every now and again, and you sometimes, probably once every month or two, we get a message from someone who has had a rough time or is struggling with something, who has just said, guys, thanking us for doing the podcast. And it's like, I get so much joy out of this, that, I know I've been in a bad spot, but I look forward to this, and it's something that sort of gets me through. And I just jump on here and talk smack, and I'm an idiot, and I fuck around and joke, but it's that sort of feeling when you know that you've helped someone else that is really, really good. And it, for me, it gets me back and doing a podcast next week. For you, it's jumping on a chin-up bar the next day and doing another 1,400. Mate, what's next, Matty? Like, what are you doing? What's next? We had a guy on last week who did a marathon Murph, and
yes,
who he tore his pec so he went in with a pec injury, done the marathon, got I think 600 pull-ups in, and tore his rotator cuff, and so couldn't do the push-ups and had to stop doing the chin-ups. So instead of doing 1,000 chin-ups, 2,000 push-ups, 3,000 squats, he did about 7,000 squats and then ran a marathon. So he just didn't stop. But people like you and him, I think, are built differently in the sense that it's never really enough, and you just, as you said, you want to push yourself. So what is next for you?
Oh, we'll see. Maybe M&Ms with chopsticks or something. I'm not sure.
See, that is a record. That's a record. That's a world record that I can get behind.
Yeah,
I'll get behind that.
Yeah, honestly, I think for me at the moment, I have a bad habit of looking ahead to what is next. So I think I'm just going to sit in the, the piece of what I've been able to do. But I've got ideas. I've got some really silly things that I love to do. But yeah, I don't know.
What's a silly thing? What's a silly thing that you love to do? What's one of those silly things?
I want to run from Perth to Melbourne.
Shit.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
So, but I'm trying to stay away from that at the moment, just to try and I'm playing footy. So I'm just like spend the footy season, just chilling out, having some fun with other people, and then we'll figure it out. But I think that'd be cool because I think how many kilometres that is will align heavily to, again, how many suicides in Australia. So again, it's another chance to try and bring that number in.
So what did Ned Brockman went Perth to Sydney?
Yeah.
Did he? What did the Lambros boys, did they go Perth to Melbourne, or did they go?
Perth to Melbourne's about 3,500 Ks.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think who's done that. Timmy Franklin went around the world, so we're not doing that again.
There's a guy who's about to try and break the record, actually. He's doing Perth to Sydney.
Yeah, see, Perth to Sydney's different. That's not Perth to Melbourne. We're happy to... You can do...
I don't know if anyone's done Perth to Melbourne.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be the first.
Could be that'd be huge.
Nah, Lambros... I know the Lambros
boys, I'm pretty... Yeah, I think they did it. There's people.
Massive.
It's just a stupid thing to do. Well, I mean, I get it. Yes, I understand it's for a great cause, but far out.
Well, I love it. Unless you got something better in mind.
No, I don't. I like spitballing ideas. What else can we do? Like, okay, you're talking silly ideas. Well, let's spitball here. We're in the business of just throwing out stupid ideas. Fitness goals.
How do you, if you're running from Perth to Melbourne and you've got to hit a specific number, do you just stop when you hit that specific number, like even if you're just a little bit outside Melbourne, or you started a bit early? What are you doing?
Well, I think that's the thing. I feel like if you go past the number you set, then it kind of loses a bit of significance. But also, like if you're saying you're running from Perth to Melbourne, then I feel like you got to commit to what you said you were going to do. So it's kind of whatever. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it would depend on the number that I'd hope to run. Yeah, I don't know.
That's have to figure that one out. Yeah, you'd have to figure that one out. You don't want to go past your number.
Maybe we look at something like the run from Melbourne or Perth to Melbourne. Then we got to, because it's obviously tying around mental health. We tie in some suicide numbers, we tie in mental health numbers, and we do like little challenges at checkpoints to sort of hit those numbers. We could build it up to be something. I mean, I'm sorry that I'm doing it for you because it's obviously for a course, but it'll be more physically difficult. That's the thing. You can throw more ridiculous challenges out there just so that you hit your specific numbers. I don't know.
Well, that's it. I mean, you could do pull-ups and running together somehow.
You could do pull-ups together. You could do running together. You could do backflips. You could do basically whatever you want.
Well, I don't know if you saw the statistics either, but based on the height that I reached, so from chin to bar, and you keep adding that distance, I actually climbed Everest 4 times.
I did say that. That's just
shit.
I could crawl up Everest or something.
Crawl up Everest. That would be tough.
Pull up Everest.
Pull up Everest. Well, you've already done the pull up Everest. That's
you have to go up and down 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
at least up and roll down.
You could go back down. Can you do one-handed pull-ups? One-handed pull-ups are tough.
Nah.
Are you when you do a chin-up, are you overhand grip or underhand grip?
Overhand.
That's a pull-up, that's a chin-up, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Okay. So, but anyway, I'll let you figure that one out.
Yeah, we'll try and figure something out, something difficult for you. So that's going to be, obviously not the footy season, you're going to try that into the back end of the year. Is that what we're looking for?
It depends. I think if I'm going to do something big, I might spend some time training for it. So I might have a brainstorm till end of footy season, and then end of the year, I might spend a year training for whatever it is. So we'll see.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, if you're back in Perth, mate, we'll love to have you back on.
Yeah, we'll jump in and would it be...
And Hammer will run the first little...
I'll run the first...
Ks with you.
1,000 Ks. That's like... That's half of it, isn't it? How long is it? 30?
Just the first third, mate.
3,500, yeah.
Close enough. I'll just run the first third. Are you going to look to do? If when in your next challenge, is the idea for a world record again? Are you going to try and find a world record in and around it, or are you going to do just a challenge?
Again, something to look into. I'm not too sure. Probably a challenge. I think that the world records, some of them are just absolutely insane.
That's
especially the running ones.
The world records for me when I was trying to do them are just, you can't find any more.
No.
Like, I was getting to a point where I was just like, I can't physically be the world's tallest man. I can't grow my fingernails longer than this Indian who hasn't cut his nails for some religious reason since he was born. And it's like, what am I doing here? I can't, So I got to a point where it was physically impossible, I think, for me to find new records to do.
I saw another one that I reckon you could do.
Shit, what is it?
It's like the most amount of, just like the little fans that you'll have in your room, the ones that like turn real slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most amount of those stopped in 1 minute using your tongue.
Stopped? Ooh.
Yeah.
What was the number? Hang on, before you say anything, so they were all on in a room or in a line?
Yes.
Okay.
They were all on, and they just had to pretty much get stopped by the tongue and move on to the next one.
If I was doing that, I think a reasonable number that I could do in a minute.
I'll Google it for you now so I can see.
So they're all in a line. They've got to be pretty close to one another. I'm just going tongue. I think a number that I could feasibly hit would be 26. I reckon I could do 26.
Yeah, I was thinking 30.
Oh, you need to get it's 57.
Oh, wow. One a minute.
Oh,
1 a second.
1 a second. Wow, 1 a second.
1 a second.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah,
it's something I
it's
could
not
certainly
feasible.
try. What I could do actually, and I think that what we might do to sort of see how I go here is line up maybe 10. If I can get 10 in 10 seconds, I'll go on. If I get 2 in the 10 seconds, no chance. Yeah, so but that's what I was finding. Like, there's some of these records that are just, it was like most eggs cracked with your head in a minute. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
yeah.
I'm not just smashing an egg on my head. So there's a few. But anyway, mate, it's just tough. It's really tough. So, look, you've done all this. We'll go back to the mental health stuff before we wrap it up. So you've done all this stuff to raise awareness. You were in a dark spot. You moved through it. You found this, avenue to go forward and help raise awareness. But if you were to, we've asked a few people this actually who've been on speaking about mental health. If you could go and give yourself a piece of advice or give anyone who is battling or in a tough spot any advice, I know you're raising awareness for it, but for someone who's been there and now is, content selling plants and lifting, doing chin-ups, what bit of advice would you give? Or what's a tip? What's something that can help our listeners out who are in a spot of bother?
Yeah, I think the one thing to throw out there from the start is it's different for everyone. So it's going to, to be able to get through these things, some things work for others more than others. Like, I can't tell you go and do this and guarantee it's going to work. So
checks out.
One thing I would always recommend is just to reach out and talk to people. I think this word of burdening someone comes up a lot, but I think what's important to try and shift that to is just understanding that if someone came up to me and talked to me about what they're going through, I think I'm going to feel more pride in them for doing that, but also a lot of trust because they trust in me as being a support for them. So always talk to someone, reach out to whoever you're comfortable with. There's also people, strangers, there's, phone lines you can call. Always talk to someone. That's your starting process. You'd be surprised as well. I think a lot of people go through the same stuff and you don't actually know that until you start talking about it. But that's number one. And then also find your purpose and passion as well. Everyone has something, whether it is sport, whether it's art, whether it's getting out in nature. Find the things that you enjoy the most and do more of it. And then I think if nothing changes, nothing changes. So often a change of routine or a change of scenery, I think helps as well. I think there's a quote that I read and it was like, you can't build a new house with the same bricks. So, up to interpretation. But I think it just sort of says if you're going to keep the same routine, I think it's going to be harder to work through what you're going through. So I think sometimes you just need to change it up, whether it's, a new place to live, a new job, new hobbies, change up the way your week looks and try and just build something that's a little bit more purposeful. So there's a few little things, but like I said, it's different for everyone. You hear everyone talk about breath work and cold water therapy and all these things, but I think it's just figuring out what you enjoy doing and do more of it.
Mate, that's it is exceptional advice. And for anyone who is in Perth, or you're in Perth, or where are you based? You're in.
I'm in Melbourne.
Yeah, you're in Melbourne. Anyone who's in Melbourne and needs potentially wants a hobby to do, maybe get into gardening. Go see Matty in what nursery are you at?
I'm in Mornington. Briar's Nursery in Mornington.
Briar's Nursery. Head yourself out there, get some indoor triceratops or whatever the plant was that you had, and we can look to water them and maybe start a hobby that way. But, mate, thank you very much for jumping on. Thanks for spending your lunch break with us. It's a very interesting chat. It's a very important message that you're trying to get across, and I think you're doing it in a really interesting way that will attract attention, get a lot of people involved, and I think it's a really good thing that you're doing. So I understand how on earth you're doing 40,000 chin-ups, but just fucking keep pulling, mate, because you're doing God's work. But Matty, thank you very much for jumping on, mate, and I wish you all the best.
No, thank you very much for having me.
Easy. Next week, I don't know what we're going to do because it's Good Friday. Everyone's got days off. We'll figure something out. Golf podcast, in the swing of it. Listen to that. Hammer's Happy Hour. Thanks very much for live. I actually don't know what the bet is, the result of the bet that we've got going live, because it's a Wednesday. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy Gather Round. Enjoy the weekend. Do what you want. We've got a long weekend next weekend, so realistically, you only have 3 days to get through.
And we'll see you next week for some boner chat.
Fuck yeah. See ya.